The sun glints off the black BMW, parked crooked in the fading afternoon light. Pedestrians pause, eyes flicking nervously between the car and the approaching figure. License and registration, the officer says, voice sharp, hand hovering near the ticket book. The driver's gaze is steady, calm. You have it, he replies without haste. A pause hangs, heavier than words. The cop's lips twitch in a smirk, sunglasses reflecting his assumed control. A whisper from the crowd. He doesn't even flinch. The officer's jaw tightens. His hand twitches. He expected fear, submission. Not this quiet, disciplined stare. The driver leans back slightly, fingers resting on the wheel. No aggression, only restraint. The cop shifts his weight, glance darting to the witnesses. The air vibrates with unspoken tension. You think you're untouchable? The officer finally mutters. The man's eyes meet his, calm, unwavering. I think you misjudge power, he says softly. The crowd leans in slightly. A silent acknowledgement passes between strangers. The officer's smirk falters. For a brief moment, authority trembles. The car engine hums lightly. No one moves. The sun glints off the polished black hood, reflection of a lesson about to unfold. The driver's hands rest lightly on the wheel. Eyes steady. License and registration, the officer says. Tone sharp. The man responds calmly, without hesitation. You have it. A pause stretches. The cop shifts uncomfortably, arrogance flickering against the calm presence before him. Whispers from the crowd thread through the air. Unnoticed. The driver's quiet strength presses silently. Unsettling authority without a single raised voice. Every second ticks, weighted with observation, judgment, and an invisible assertion of control. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Soft but sharp. Is he really doing this? Someone mutters. No one steps forward, only eyes shift. Recording every move. The officer stands taller, mistaking silence for surrender, but silence grows teeth here. Heavy and observant. Every witness knows. This quiet will echo louder than shouts. ChatGPT said. A faint smirk cuts across his face. Confidence dripping into arrogance. Thought you could talk your way out? He mutters, tightening his grip on control he never truly had. The man stays still. One calm breath. One quiet stare. And in that silence, something shifts. The smirk begins to fade. He's been here before, the voice in the precinct whispers, fading under fluorescent hum. A woman's trembling hand once filed a report. He grabbed me for nothing. It vanished overnight. Another file, another silence. Internal review closed. He'd smirk walking past complaints like ghosts. Each one forgotten but not gone. The narration slows. His badge gleamed brighter than truth itself. The hero stands in the archive room now, fingers brushing over dusty folders, reading the stories no one dared to finish. He doesn't speak. He only remembers. A phone camera rises quietly among the crowd. No one speaks loudly, yet the air hums with judgment. He's crossing a line. Someone mutters. A reporter whispers, "This isn't just a stop. This is unraveling." The cop's jaw tightens. His every move now framed by dozens of unblinking lenses. Narration softens. The city watches. Not with fear, but with awakening. The power he once carried begins to feel heavy. Fragile, borrowed. And for the first time, he senses the shift, authority under observation. The officer's breath shortens, jaw tightening with every second. His hand twitches near his holster, not in threat, but in habit. "You think you're calm," he mutters, voice cracking under its own weight. The man across from him doesn't move. "I don't need to prove calm," he replies softly. A muscle jumps in the cop's cheek. "You people always," he stops himself, swallowing the words that taste like fire. Narration folds in, silence becomes judgment, his authority trembling beneath the weight of composure. Control, once armor, now feels like glass. The badge catches a sliver of light. The officer notices, blinks twice. That your name? He asks, voice unsteady. The man nods. It's on record. You can check? Whispers stir nearby. Someone murmurs, "That's him? The Special Forces guy." The officer steps back slightly, confusion cutting through his posture. Narration flows in, respect replaces fear. Authority tilts without a word. What once felt like control now feels like exposure. Silence lingers, heavy and deliberate. Power has quietly changed hands. The courtroom holds its breath. Cameras hum quietly, catching the officer's trembling hand as he wipes sweat from his temple. His once firm voice now stumbles through excuses that sound smaller with every word. You think you can turn this around?" he mutters, forcing a smirk that doesn't reach his eyes. The man across from him doesn't rise, doesn't flinch. "I don't need to," he says softly. "You already did." A flicker passes through the crowd. Restraint, mistaken for weakness, now feels like control. Narration settles in, years of arrogance. Unchecked and applauded, now collapse beneath the weight of one calm truth. The officer's stare falters, eyes darting toward his peers, seeking approval that never comes. "You judged me before knowing me," the man continues, voice steady as stone. "That's where your authority ends." A hush rolls through the room. Peers exchange glances, whispers bloom like cracks in marble. For the first time, silence feels like justice, quiet, complete, undeniable. Phones buzz in the crowd, quiet, constant, relentless. Faces glow with the reflection of screens capturing a downfall in real time. The officer stands there, smaller than he's ever been. The badge on his chest no longer a shield but a mirror. Whispers move like wind through the people gathered. "That's him," someone murmurs. "The one who thought he could get away with it." He tries to straighten his posture, but his voice cracks before he even speaks. "You don't know the full story." The protagonist doesn't respond. He just watches, steady, calm. His silence speaks louder than any defense could. Narration deepens. The stillness. Years of unchecked power folding under the weight of truth. The cop's eyes dart toward the crowd, searching for someone, anyone, to believe him. No one does. A judge's voice cuts through. Authority is earned, not assumed. The words echo, final and cold. Phones lower. Silence returns. The officer's shoulders sink. The hero remains, quiet, unshaken, unforgettable. The city feels different now, quieter, heavier, honest. The officer's name floats across headlines, his suspension confirmed, his past finally catching up in whispers that once went unheard. Files reopen. Voices long silenced begin to breathe again. The protagonist walks down the same, cracked sidewalks where judgment once followed him. Now people look longer, not out of suspicion, but respect. A shopkeeper nods. A child stares, curious yet reverent. He pauses beside a window, his reflection meeting the faint glint of an old military photograph he carries. Years of restraint, scars of discipline, all folded into one calm breath. A friend's voice breaks the stillness. Guess justice finally spoke. He shakes his head gently. "Justice isn't loud," he replies. "It's steady." The words hang in the air, soft but certain, proof that real power doesn't shout. It endures. The officer